Is there something we don't know about BTS right now? Does Taehyung's return hide a big secret that's been kept all along? And why did Jungkook suddenly make a statement that shook the hearts of millions of ARMYs around the world? Panic, shock, and big question marks are surrounding the BTS fan community in recent days. Not without reason. Jungkook, who's long been known as calm, mysterious, and full of riddles, finally broke the silence with a heart-stirring statement. At the same time, news about Kim Taehyung returning from his mandatory military service caused a wave of major speculation. What lies behind all this? Jungkook's statement, which was delivered via a sudden live broadcast on the official platform, was not only surprising but also emotionally touching. His serious tone, unusual facial expression, and meaningful choice of words left ARMYs frozen. He opened with one sentence that instantly froze the atmosphere. "There's something you need to know." Instantly, millions of fans around the world began to speculate. What does that sentence mean? Is it about the future of BTS? Or perhaps something that has long been hidden by their agency, HYB? Shortly after Jungkook's broadcast, news spread that Taehyung, who is known to still be serving in the military, had returned earlier than scheduled. This is not a normal occurrence and certainly raises many questions. Moreover, there's been no official statement from either the military or HYB regarding his return. Is this just a coincidence? Or has everything been orchestrated behind the scenes? And why does Jungkook seem to be carrying a heavy burden when delivering that message to ARMY? An internal source who declined to be named mentioned that something is happening behind the scenes. According to the source, Taehyung's early return was not without reason. There was an urgent situation that made him come back early. Reportedly, this is directly related to internal dynamics among BTS members and company policies. What's even more shocking, some fans astutely noticed that several days before Jungkook's broadcast, all of BTS's official social media accounts showed unusual activity. Old photos were deleted, symbolic new posts emerged, and some members' posts seemed to give certain codes. Could this be a kind of signal intentionally given to ARMY? That's not all. Several South Korean media outlets have started reporting on the possibility of a secret meeting between the BTS members currently serving and some top HYB executives. The location and time of this meeting were not officially announced, but many believe that it discussed the group's future and a long-delayed comeback strategy. The question now is, what's the connection between Taehyung's return and Jungkook's shocking statement? Is this a sign that BTS will undergo a major change? Or does it signal the presence of a conflict that's long been covered up? Jungkook, in his next statements, said he had been thinking about this for quite some time. He felt it was time for ARMY to know what was really going on. That sentence was clearly not said without meaning. He also stated that he and the other members can no longer remain silent. This statement immediately made many fans speculate that perhaps the BTS members don't fully agree with the agency's policies. In BTS's journey, they've shown courage in voicing their hearts, and this seems to be another defining moment. Taehyung's sudden return, without an official welcome, also raised many questions. Was he discharged due to health reasons? Or was there intervention from certain parties wanting to reunite BTS as soon as possible? The fact that Taehyung hasn't appeared publicly or made any statement only strengthens the suspicion that something is being withheld or controlled. Some ARMYs even linked this event to several minor incidents in previous months, like concert schedule changes, the cancellation of solo projects, and the disappearance of certain documentation from official platforms. Are all of these part of a larger scenario yet to be fully revealed? Meanwhile, HYB remains silent. Until now, not a single official statement has been issued to explain these strange events. This lack of clarity only adds to the emotions and worries among ARMY. Many demand clarity and transparency, but as of this writing, no answers have come. Jungkook also delivered a sentence that has now gone viral across social media platforms. "If I have to speak alone for the truth, then I will do it." Many fans interpreted the sentence as an act of bravery and a signal that the situation behind BTS right now is far more complicated than it appears. And now, speculation arises that Taehyung's return is not only personal but also part of a major plan to save something very important, whether that be BTS, the group's project, or even the members' own integrity. What about Taehyung's current condition? Is he really healthy? Why hasn't he spoken a word to the public? According to a well-known K-pop observer in Seoul, Taehyung's silence is a form of strategy. It's not that he can't talk, but because he knows one wrong word could ruin everything. This is not about popularity. It's about loyalty and a major decision being brewed. Not a few are also suspecting that this is the beginning of a new chapter for BTS, a new era that's more independent, more open, and braver in determining their own path. But to achieve that, there's certainly a price to be paid. The question is BTS ready to face all this? And are armies ready to accept the truth if what will be revealed later turns out to be nothing like what they've imagined all along? As time goes by, more and more evidence begins to surface. Some video clips show an emotional Jungkook during rehearsals, a gloomy Taehyung in a military area, and even unconfirmed reports claim RM and Jimin are mediating a critical meeting between the agency and members. One thing is certain: this is not just gossip. This is the beginning of a major change. And until Taehyung truly appears and Jungkook dares to say everything uncensored, these questions will keep echoing in fans' minds. Will BTS return to what it once was? Or are we witnessing the birth of a new version of them? Stronger, more honest, and freer? Armies around the world can only wait, with hearts pounding and eyes wide open, for piece by piece of the truth to unfold little by little. After the widespread speculation among ARMY and the general public, it is important to deliver one fundamental conclusion. The news about Jungkook's shocking statement and Taehyung's sudden early return from military service is not supported by concrete evidence and can be confirmed as untrue. Much of the information circulating recently turns out to come from unofficial sources, anonymous accounts, and fabricated narratives deliberately constructed to stir anxiety and sensation. In the digital era, the speed of information spreads far faster than its verification. That is why sensational stories like this spread easily and immediately trigger emotional reactions from BTS's loyal fans. If we examine carefully, there was no live broadcast from Jungkook stating a crisis or a big secret to be revealed. All the quotes circulating on social media are merely video edits or texts modified in such a way to create the illusion that he was delivering a hidden message. In reality, all of Jungkook's recent official platform activities have been neutral and normal, most of them related to supporting fellow BTS members and promoting his solo projects. Likewise, the news of Taehyung's early and mysterious return isn't proven. Up to this moment, Taehyung is still carrying out his military service as scheduled by the South Korean military. There has been no statement from the military or HYB Entertainment indicating sudden leave, early discharge, let alone internal conspiracies as spread in the earlier story. So-called internal sources implying a rift between BTS members and HYB cannot be verified. On the contrary, in official interviews and personal letters written by the members before leaving for military service, they expressed full support for the collective decision to take a break from group activities in order to fulfill their national obligations. HYB has also repeatedly emphasized that BTS will reunite after completing their military duties, and their comeback project is slowly being prepared. Signs such as deleted posts or mysterious symbols on social media are actually exaggerated interpretations. In the entertainment world, social media content changes are very common and often done for image refreshment, brand consolidation, or new project promotions. However, in this case, many fans were carried away emotionally and created a narrative as if all of it were secret messages or codes. In fact, there is no solid evidence to support such interpretations. It's important to note that the deep love ARMY has for BTS often becomes a double-edged sword. On one hand, it shows extraordinary loyalty, but on the other hand, if not controlled, It can drag the community into a wave of false information and baseless collective hysteria. That's why clarifications like this are crucial to maintain a healthy, rational fandom protected from content manipulation. In this case, the news linking Jungkook's emotional statements and Taehyung's mysterious return is a clickbait narrative deliberately constructed to grab attention. There is no visual evidence, official documents, or public statements from the involved parties to support these claims. Everything is merely speculation amplified through social media, personal blogs, and unaccountable rumor channels. Responsible journalism demands us to deliver not just what the public wants to hear, but what is truly happening. In this case, reality is often simpler than the fantasies created. BTS continues to perform their duties as responsible South Korean citizens. Jungkook, like other members, is independently active and has not made any provocative statements as reported. Taehyung is still serving his time as scheduled, with no oddities or deviations. As fans, the best support we can give is to remain calm, not help spread false news, and respect the members' privacy as they serve their country. None of the BTS members have signaled a serious internal issue. In fact, if we observe their statements and actions before enlistment, they appeared optimistic, harmonious, and supportive of each other's futures. In conclusion, the long article filled with shocking statements about a big truth, internal conflicts, and Taehyung's mysterious return is not based on facts and cannot be justified. A narrative relying on emotion, assumptions, and wild interpretations without official validation. ARMY and the public are urged to stay critical, rational, and verify every piece of information before believing it, let alone spreading it further. BTS is not in crisis. Taehyung did not return abruptly. Jungkook did not reveal shocking secrets. All of that is merely a fictional story created to generate clicks, emotions, and panic. And in today's digital world, truth is something that must be constantly fought for and protected, not only for BTS, but also for the entire fan community who love them sincerely.